When I moved to the US at 28, I didn't have a bad credit score, I had none. Today, it's over 800. Your credit score can be the difference between getting approved for a credit card or a rental or not. And improving your score means you could save thousands of dollars in interest on a car payment or a mortgage. While building my credit score from 0 to 800, I've learned a lot, and this video will teach you the exact path to 800 plus. Your credit score is made up of 5 parts. Each one is worth a fixed slice of your score. We'll break down each piece and cover the strategies to improve them all. Payment history and utilization are 65% of the whole score. And the good thing is I have some quick win solutions for you there. Payment history, 35%. More than a third of your score is just, do you pay on time? That's it. One late payment can sit on your report for years and drag everything down. I pay off all of my cards as soon as I get paid each month. This keeps me on a schedule, and I always know I have enough money in my checking account to cover everything. You can also set up auto pay to cover your statement balance automatically. Always the full balance. The minimum keeps you from being late, but paying the full balance keeps you from having to pay interest. A note on interest while we're here. If you're carrying a balance, make a plan to attack it aggressively. Look for places to cut expenses, direct any extra income towards the debt, and focus on paying down the highest interest balances first. If you accidentally miss a payment, don't ignore it, pay it immediately and call the issuer. If it's your first mistake and you're only a few days late, some lenders may waive the fee and avoid reporting it to the credit bureaus. And if you've already got a late mark that was a mistake, that's not necessarily permanent. Hold that thought, because fixing errors is its own strategy, and we'll come back to it. The longer your accounts stay open and the longer you make on-time payments, the more your score will improve. Quick pause to hear more from today's video sponsor, Chime. Chime has a credit building product, and studies show it's been able to help members increase their credit score by up to 70 points. There's no interest and no credit check to apply. It's a secured Visa credit card, so your spending limit is based on the money you have or you've set aside. But Chime reports to the major credit bureaus to help build your credit scores. A Chime checking account is required to apply for a Chime card, and right now you can get a $200 bonus with a new Chime checking account through my link. If you receive over $3,000 of qualifying direct deposits per month, you'll be eligible for Chime Prime, which gets you 5% cash back in a category of your choice with the Chime card, including groceries, dining, travel, and more. Plus a 3.75% APY high yield savings account, which is 9 times the national average. That means your money is working for you while you're building your score. With Chime Prime, you'll even get access to premium travel perks like the Priority Pass Lounge membership, which gets you 2 free visits per year, plus $35 visits after that. There's a link in the description to the $200 offer. It's exclusively available through my link, so make sure you sign up below. Thank you, Chime, for sponsoring this video. Okay, back to the credit score breakdown. Credit utilization, 30%. This is how much of your available credit you're using, and it's the fastest moving lever month to month. The more cards you have and the higher the credit limits on them, the more credit you have available to you. People say to stay under 30%, but that's really just a guideline. For credit scoring purposes, lower utilization is generally better. I aim for under 10%. Putting that into numbers, if you have a $10,000 credit limit and your statement shows $4,000, that's 40% utilization, and it will hurt your credit score. The good news is utilization has no long-term memory in most scoring models. If your utilization spikes one month because you booked a big trip, your score can rebound as soon as lower balances are reported. I have 3 ways to improve your credit utilization. Number 1, it's the balance on the statement closing date that gets reported to the bureaus, not the due date. So if you want a clean number, pay it down before the statement closes, not after. You can keep using the card normally and still report a small balance. Number 2, ask the card issuer for a credit limit increase on the card you've had for a while. If you have more available credit, the same spending will result in lower utilization. Some issuers do a soft pull, some do a hard one, so it's worth asking first. A hard pull will temporarily ding your score. Number 3, open a new card. This gives you more total credit, which lowers your utilization. Just know it comes with a hard inquiry and may temporarily lower your score. And it pulls down your average account age, so over time it usually helps, but it's the most aggressive of the 3 strategies. If you're looking for a new credit card, I'll link my top credit cards and offers right now in the description below. And don't rush to close old cards because that will reduce your available credit, but it's maybe even more important in the next section. If you're finding the video helpful, hit the like button to let me know. Don't forget to subscribe while you're there. It helps the channel grow and it helps the content reach more people like you that can get value from it. Thank you. Length of credit history, 15%. 15% of your score comes down to the length of your credit history. Credit scoring models look at things like how long you've been using credit, the age of your oldest account, and the average age of all of your accounts. Sadly, this one takes time, which is why it's a good idea to start as early as possible. First, keep your oldest cards open. If they're not main cards for you anymore, put a small recurring subscription charge on them, set it to autopay, and let them quietly age in the background. If your oldest card has a high annual fee, there's often a path to downgrade to a no annual fee card. And if you're just getting started with credit cards, it's a good idea to begin with a no or a low annual fee card so they can age without worrying about needing to possibly close them in the future. Second, and this is the strategy I was never able to implement for myself. If you have a partner or a parent who has a card with a clean and old credit history, ask to be added as an authorized user. Double check with the bank on if they report authorized users, but many will, meaning you inherit the age and payment history of that account on your own report. You don't even need to touch the card. When you're starting from nothing, that can give you years of history overnight. Just make sure their account is genuinely in good shape first, because you inherit the bad with the good. New credit, 10%. 10% of your score comes down to the new credit, meaning how often you're applying for new accounts. Most credit card applications result in a hard inquiry, which can temporarily lower your score. If you open several accounts in a short period of time, you're stacking hard inquiries, which is also lowering the average age of your accounts. So space your applications out. Personally, I try and leave at least 3 months between applications, and 6 months is even better. The same thing applies when you apply for a mortgage, auto loan, or student loan. Those applications can temporarily lower your score too. And if you're planning to apply for a mortgage or car loan soon, it's usually best to avoid opening unnecessary new credit cards in the months leading up to it. And this is where that error fixing strategy comes back into play. Pull your credit reports from all 3 bureaus and review them carefully. Look for accounts you don't recognize, incorrect late payments, balances that don't match your records, or anything else that seems off. Errors happen more often than you realize, and when you're building credit, even a small mistake can have an outsized impact. If you find an error, dispute it. It's free, and fixing a single error can sometimes improve your score faster than almost anything else you'll do. The final 10% is your credit mix, having more than one type of credit. Revolving credit like a credit card, and installment credit like a car loan, student loan, or mortgage. This is the one not to overthink. Don't take out a loan you don't need just to try and boost your credit score. For most people, their credit mix improves naturally over time. You start with a credit card, later you might finance a car, take out a student loan, or eventually get a mortgage, and the variety builds on its own. What to do first? So if you're starting from scratch, here's what I'd focus on. First, get one account open that reports to the credit bureaus. Second, never miss a payment. Set up auto pay and protect your payment history at all costs. Third, keep your utilization under 10% by paying down balances before your statement closes. Fourth, check your credit reports for errors. And after that, let time do the heavy lifting, let your accounts age, be selective about new applications, and don't overthink your credit mix. Be realistic about speed. A meaningful jump is doable in a few months to a year if you actually do the work. But the top of the range, the 800s, is mostly time and consistency. Share any tips you have in the comments. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.